Hello, hello. I'm here. We're streaming. Alright, yes, hi ho Silver. I'm just gonna this stream right now. Hello, hello. I'm here. We're streaming. Oh my god, am I echoing? Alright, yes, hi ho. Okay, that was weird. My somehow stream just like looped in on itself. Yeah, sorry. Alright, I fixed it. That was weird. Wait, no, it's back. Can you guys hear that? I'm like duplicating. Oh no. Looped in on itself. Yeah, sorry. Alright, I fixed it. That was weird. Wait, no, it's back. Can you guys hear that? I'm like duplicating. Oh no. Looped in on itself. Yeah, sorry. Alright, I fixed it. That was. Alright, maybe that fixed it. I don't know. My OBS is being kind of weird. I don't know what happened. Okay, how did it not fix it? Oh. Oh. Okay, how did it not fix it? Oh. Oh. Okay, how did it not fix it? Oh. Oh. Okay, how did it not fix it? Oh. Oh. Okay, no, there's like a delay. When the stream delay happens, it like picks up my audio and plays it again somehow, but I don't know. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm incredibly stupid. I fixed it. I'm so stupid. I, I had on another tab just my own stream open. That's what it was. It was picking up my Discord, my desktop audio. Oh, that was really stupid. Okay. I just opened up my Twitch on another tab and I forgot about it. Okay, hi. All right, the stream is starting for real. For real now. Okay. That was incredibly dumb. Okay, all right. So right now, real quick, this stream, which I want to get done in like an hour and a half, I'm going to finish up these 5 deck lists from the tier 3 subs that I didn't do last time. And then I need to run some errands, and then I'm going to be back later today streaming, and I'm going to do more deck reviews for some of the tier 2 subs. So, 90 minutes. Let's not get sidetracked too much, chat, alright? For real this time. No huge deck overhauls, okay? There's no big deck overhauls. We're just making a couple of upgrades. Alright? Just finished the deck box snuff. As I opened the video. I couldn't get any explosives for the video, sadly. Okay, so to explain how this whole thing works, all this crap that I'm doing, is patrons can submit decks, and then I suggest things to add, which go to the sideboard, and things to cut, which go to the maybe board. That's how this works. Cuts, adds. Normally, traditionally, I do like 3 changes. That's what I had been doing. But these last couple times, I've done like complete overhauls to the decks, and it takes up a lot of time. And as much as I love getting sidetracked and doing these deck overhauls, Let's try and I gotta get through the decks. I need to like actually get this done. Otherwise, I'm never gonna like do any. Not gonna be able to finish any of these. Yo, thank you for the super chat. What if we like getting sidetracked? I know chat loves getting sidetracked and just and distracting me with like wacky card suggestions. But let's try our best like not to. Oh, I almost forgot. I will let me post the link to the folders here so you can follow along. How are we doing? I think I'm getting sick. Yeah. All right. Okay. First list is from Mothcovered Rock. They have a Y'shtola Knights Blessed list. This is Esper and 1 for 2/4 vigilance at the beginning of each end step. If a player lost 4 or more life this turn, you draw a card. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, deals 2 damage to each opponent, you gain 2 life. Okay. So if you do this twice, you get to draw a card. So we want to double spell in this deck. And we want to double spell non-creature spell 3 or greater, right? Hey, thank you, Grunge. Yeah. I appreciate it. Does Architect carry over side decks from Moxfield? Yes. It does, and we'll get to your Disneyland deck soon enough. How much do I have to pay for you to make a Scryfall random card Smasher Pass? I don't know. Maybe I'll do that with Baldhound at some point. Why have that commander if you're not running every single crappy 3-mana rock and literally nothing else? That's true. Yo, what up, Kyoji? Okay, so this deck is cool. I like this commander a lot. We got Sig in the 99. That's pretty sweet. Sigil of Sleep. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage to a player, return target deals damage. Oh, Y'shtola does deal 2 damage. What a strange. It's not life loss. Okay, so I guess Sigil of Sleep does work. Feels like Sig plus white. Double spells obviously good for making everyone hit each other. Holding up interaction also really valuable. Yeah. Man, this would be so sweet if this card had red in it. Oh, it'd be so cool. So just taking an initial look, because I'm going into these blind. I haven't seen any of these. Initial look at the list. Is it even a real stream if Ruby isn't here? What? Tabernacle would be interesting. A Tabernacle would be good if it wasn't $3,000. That is correct. Helm of the Gas Lord spiked to $7. Helm of the Gas Lord? Oh, it's already in the list. What the hell is that? Enchant creature, if it's blue, use damage, draw a card. As long as enchant creature is black. Draw. Okay, interesting. Aphidinite, Curiosity, everything. Yeah, you could go the Curiosity route. So here's my initial thoughts with this deck. Look, I'm here for Esper control. I love that. But I don't know how you don't just get Archenemy beat up. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do they not just play creatures and then beat the crap out of you? Like, you have one propaganda and one ghostly prison. That's like kind of it. I'm kind of worried about you just getting like nuked. Now, since this is a 3-color deck, we can play. I need to remember the name of this card. It's like enchantment. It is a blue card and it costs 4 mana. It has to do with attacking. Nope. The hell? Oh, mana value. That's what I needed. I'm stupid. What is the card I am looking for? Oh, it's like the super ghostly prison based on land types. Oh, man. There it is. Collective restraint. I like the idea of adding more pillow fort because I feel like you have some pillow fort, but it's like, you know? It's like not enough. I feel like you're just going to get blown up. Raven's Crime? Yeah, like a Raven's Crime is a fun one as well. I like... No, not that one. Is it Descent of Ravens? Raven something? Maybe you can copy it, but it still might not be enough. Yeah, that's what is there Revenge of Ravens? Yeah, Revenge of Ravens is pretty sweet. It's like a good way to avoid like, chip damage. How does this leaderboard work? Oh. Oh yeah, so YouTube chat, hang on, let me pull it up. If I pull up my stream on my YouTube, what where is it? Live. I can pull up the stream and there's like and there is a leaderboard. I can put the score on screen here. So there's I just said we're not gonna get sidetracked anyway. So there's a leaderboard on YouTube for some reason, and like if you spam the chat, I guess it like gives you stuff, and then if you do a super chat, it gives you like a ton of points, and it puts you like way up ahead. And that's how it works. I don't really know. I don't really know what the point of the leaderboard is, but that's what it is. Could a life gain deck for this work? Yeah, you totally could. Also, to be clear, for super chats, YouTube takes a 50% cut of that, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. Anyway, enough about that. We're back to this. I like the idea of more propaganda effects. So the thing is, you can only play so many 1-for-1 removal spells before you straight up run out. Whereas, if you watched Alex's Slippery Snail's video on removal, we can talk about how cards like Collective Restraint are functionally removal, right? It's like it pushes people away into attacking other people and can oftentimes act the same way as removal. And that's how I feel about Revenge of Ravens. It removes 1/1s from the game. I can never be hit by a 1/1 attacker because it doesn't matter. It's completely irrelevant to attack me with it. Not completely irrelevant, but you know what I mean. Anyway, there's a few other cards that I think are pretty sweet in this deck. that I think make for good spot removal. Submerge is a very strange card. If any opponent has a forest and you have an island, you can cast it for free. And it's even better than bouncing a creature. It puts it on top of their deck. This card's actually really sweet. You know? Bro gave $10 and it's still about $6. Yo, somebody super chat $10. Whoa, thank you. Give the people cape. If you subscribe, like long deck reviews, deck overhauls, wacky card suggestions, get in touch, I give it to them. I do like doing this. It's more of a time problem. I love getting sidetracked and having having chat suggest dumb cards. It's like a time issue for me. It is like I really want to like get through all of the deck reviews for each month, and yeah. I'm not saying that I don't appreciate the super chats. I feel bad when I feel bad when it's not disclosed where the money is going. I like, please, I appreciate the money like so much. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me. I don't want I feel bad if you don't know that like where it's going, you know. Lantern of Insight could be a great addition. Why would Lantern be good for this deck? Yeah, no, Submerges is a cool card, yeah. I think Submerge is pretty sweet. I've seen it in Seed Age, honestly. It's pretty good. We'll add some more dumb suggestions, but I want to look at a few like cuts here. One thing that I'm worried about with this commander, and you know what, one thing I should do real quick. Let's take a quick peek at what this patron actually said when they submitted their deck. See if they mentioned anything. Playtested, it seems to be pretty tuned. As for Punisher lives, remove the curiosity effects that most people run because draw was not an issue. Looking for any cool Punisher cards that you're missing. Okay. I don't think you're missing any of the Snuff Out's really good. They have one, yeah. I don't know if you're missing I don't know if they're like missing any Punisher cards. In a deck like this, another card that I really like is Reigns of Power. In decks here where you have like very little creatures, Reigns of Power is really fun because you'll often have just your commander in play. You swap your commander to your opponent, and then you take a big board and you just kill someone else with it. It's pretty fun. Or if your commander is dead, you probably don't have any creatures in play, and Reigns of Power is really great. Or you use Reigns of Power on an opponent's turn as it's instant speed, and then what happens is you just steal all their blockers and you block with them. Yeah, I know 3/3 Elkin and Moldhound have like a commission thing, and I get it. I don't know. I feel kind of awkward charging more than like $5 for a deck review. You know, because already I'm like making suggestions that would like cost money to add. You know, that's my thoughts on it. No shade to them, by the way. So now we gotta think about what are we cutting here. And that's kind of tricky. I would consider cutting Baleful Mastery. A lot of times these Esper control decks get ganged up on a lot, and this is a card that you kind of want to make political deals with, but it's gonna be difficult. Domineering Will does the same. Yeah. It's like a little, you can't target player gains control of up to 3 target. It's only 3 creatures, you know? And so it's not quite as good, but it's still decent. I have a business degree and feel bad about charging money. I mean, look. I don't know. Maybe I'll have a slot for it at some point. It's something to think about. Um, what are the cuts here though? This is tricky because a lot of the stuff is actually it's just quite good. Um, I think this list is kind of sweet. Um, man, it's tough to find cuts in a deck like this. I think one card I would really want to get rid of is Wayfarer's Wobble. I think this card is actively just bad in most decks. Because you take off turn 1 and you take off turn 2 for it, or it's a 3-mana rock later, in which case you should just play like a 3-mana rock that has utility. It's just like worse than a 2-mana rock most points of the game, which I really don't like. Do you think a flash enabler would help? A lot of those instance encounters. I don't know. I don't know about a flash enabler. It does let you flash in the enchantments, but we're playing 26 instants. I don't think this deck has a problem holding up mana to play at instant speed. You know, I do agree. I was thinking the same thing, Silver. What's the plan with Beseech the Mirror? I don't know, actually. I feel like I'm kind of confused, and there's nothing great to bargain, you know? Tell that to Corval. I said most decks. I mean, I play Wayfarer's Bauble in my Townhouse list because I can like double it up, and it's like a greedy control deck. But if you don't care about the sacrificing, which this deck doesn't, and you don't care about having artifacts in the graveyard, which this deck doesn't, I feel like it's just not a very good ramp spell. And you already have plenty of like ramp here, you know, and honestly, depending on your play group, rushing your commander out might not even be that good of an idea if they'll focus it down. You might want to play it and held up counter magic. You've fallen in love with, the UFO and Walking Atlas. Yeah. I think those are pretty sweet. You don't think getting a land and non-green is extra worth the extra work? For 3 mana, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, personally, right now, I'm just playing no mana rocks in most decks and just playing lands and just hitting my land drop every turn. And I mean, I'll make a video on that eventually, but like, as of now, I think that's just the better thing to do, is just not to have any mana rocks. So I do agree with you that the land is better than the rock. I'm wondering how good Black Market Connections is in here. Again, I feel like this is a deck that when your playgroup wisens up to it, they're just gonna like kill you, you know? Every time you listen to the podcast, you're like, oh shoot, you didn't ask a question, then forget. Yeah. Where's the Curiosity and Affinity Knight? This user specifically said that in their testing, they found that card draw wasn't an issue, so they just got rid of those. So the player personally did not find it very useful. Yo, Moth, hello. Whatever. Remove the rocks. Okay, alright. You know what? If we're removing the rocks, let's go for it. I know I said at the start of the stream I didn't want to spend a ton of time doing deck overhauls, but whatever. I say that every stream, and, you know, here we are. I'll leave this because it's more than a rock. Let's ditch the rocks. Let's get this crap out of here. I've been running no rocks and like 41, 42 lands as of late, and I've been happy with it. Alright, I'm gonna go to town suggesting some cards. I'm gonna suggest some 1-mana counter spells. It could be Swan Song, is a really good one. Miscast is an awesome one. What's really good about 1-mana counter spells in a deck like this is on turn 5, you go Commander, hold up 1 mana counterspell. And then one opponent goes, I'm scared of your commander, remove it. You go miscast Swan Song, boom, it's gone. You get to untap with your commander, and this type of deck is the deck where when you untap with your commander, you are in a significantly better position than you would be otherwise. This is an I untap with my commander, get a ton of value, push that advantage for the win type deck, in which case just consistently playing your commander on 5 with some cheap counter magic is really important. A staff is a rock, but it does other things. Offer you can't refuse, yes, that's another good one. Big Mesmeric Orb energy with this one. Dog, I'm not adding Mesmeric Orb. Yeah, those are all some good 1-mana counter spells that I think are pretty excellent. Strix Serenade is like also not too bad. It's really more of a path to exile, though. It doesn't work defensively, so I don't know if I'd recommend it for this role, but it is a good card. If you were to give me a Brawl deck, could you give some suggestions to move it over to Commander? Yes, yeah, sure, you can submit Brawl decks. Someone's done that in the past. Your suggestion of Future Sight. For this list, so slow on turn 5. This is a slow control deck. We're not worried about turn. Turn 5 is... This deck is trying to go to, like, turn, like, 100. This is a slow deck. And you just want to set up. You know, you play your Ghostly Prison, and then your, other 3-drop or whatever, and then you go Commander, hold up counter magic, untap, we're ready to win. I think a lot of people, a huge mistake players make all the time is they just rush out their important, overpowered commander, and then it gets removed and they're so behind. I prefer Wash Away. I really like Wash Away. I need to play it in some more decks, but it's pretty sweet as a counter spell. Flusterstorm is also really good. Yeah, is Flusterstorm still expensive? Less expensive. Okay, so we've added some more counter spells. We've added some more protection. What I want to add now is like a little bit more finishing power. And one card that I think is pretty sweet here is Blind Obedience. This card is really powerful, and with the Extort, you can push the damage a little bit further to get some chip. It's life gain for you, and it's helping you trigger your Stola. It's a slow deck, and Future Sight will help you gift lands. I mean, I like Future Sight too, yeah. I talked about this in last month's Better Than Booster, but Future Sight is a really good card. Okay. Add Pestilence? Maybe. You don't think it's relevant? It's a slow deck, and Future Sight will like... No, I think Future Sight's good. Yeah, I like Future Sight. Pestilence is inevitable ping. My problem with Pestilence is this is a deck that doesn't care about creatures outside of its commander, and is a deck that will regularly play board wipes to clear creatures, so I think you might kill your own Pestilence pretty easily. I don't know, maybe I'm a little lower on Pestilence than I should be. Okay. Alright. Moth, thank you for giving me the okay to cut all of your mana rocks. I really like this strategy for control, is cutting all these rocks. I know there's like sort of a push and pull here where like, is ramp better because you want to ramp into double spelling more because of like card draw, etc., right? But in a slow control deck, the important thing is inevitability, and being able to tank a Vandal Blast or Farewell without getting worried about any hits from anything else is pretty important. So I think it's pretty good. Should you be cutting 2 mana rocks? I've cut pretty much all my rocks outside of my artifact deck because they're artifacts and it matters more. I haven't played a mana rock in quite a while, and I think it's been great. So, you know, we'll see. Okay, Moth, thank you for your submission. I'm gonna move on to the next deck. Yo, what up, Xiao? That's the editor. That's Yusuf. That's our editor. Say hi, Yusuf. All right. Oh, I believe this person is in the chat. Oh man. Oh no. I was kind of dreading reviewing this deck because it's gonna be so hard, but it is also really funny. Okay, so this. Wait, did I forget to put the commander? Who's the commander again? Justin, who's the commander of your deck again? It's Rafik, right? Wait, is it not Rafik? Am I stupid? Oh no, yeah, it is. Okay. Okay, Justin, I'm gonna read the blurb you wrote about this deck. Where did I put it? Okay. After brackets were announced, you begin playing at your LGS. Didn't have a core bracket deck. I wanted to build something that wouldn't stop pre-cons. So I end up at this sort of. If I end up at that table, I've been kicking around the idea of building Teamer Goblins with Goblin Service representative for a while, and finally pulled the trigger. Played it for a few times. It's goofy as hell. It's perfect. It fits perfectly with pre-cons in terms of power. I feel like I can play with bracket 1 and 2. I'll commit to the mana base as time goes on. This is a list with the printings you own. No worries about budgets. If you have a suggestion, the deck has been a blast. Admittedly, it's awful at winning games. Not certain it actually needs to. Okay. Okay, so we've built Riku goblins with uncards. So this deck has a contraption sideboard, which if you haven't played this, it's where you crank your contraptions and you crank your deck silly style. And then there's also attractions, which are things you open attractions and you roll dice to visit the attractions and it triggers them. Oh, where do you go to submit reviews? To submit a deck review, it's on my Patreon. There should be a link in the description here. It's also in the description of all my videos. It's on my channel. Yeah, it's a Patreon perk. So this deck is like it's a goblin deck. We're teamer goblins effectively. And I'm not gonna try and suggest things to make the deck strictly more powerful because that's not the point. We saw May. Yes, this is decks for me. I do them in advance. I let people submit throughout the whole month. So these are the ones submitted throughout May, and then I'm doing them now. And then at the end of this month, I do the ones for June. So if you sign up now this month, you'll get in for June, and then starting next month, I'll review those ones. Yeah, no worries about the question. I mean, there's a live chat for a reason. You can ask me whatever. So one thing that I'm immediately like, for flavor reasons, where's Kark? Am I crazy in saying that Kark should be here? Are we not? We have Kark's other thumb. I guess that's only for dice rolling, not coin flipping. The other thing you said is that like this deck is really bad at winning the game. Yeah, so we're just looking for like actual finishers without like making the deck like strong enough to destroy precons. Which is actually a tall ask, to be honest. Sometimes upping your win con can increase the power level, but I think this deck is at its core jank enough that why are we playing Into the North? What is this? This deck is jank enough that I think we could get there. One card that comes to mind is Gear per Aether Grid. As it was so confusing in the sideboard with all this other stuff. This lets you like tap your attractions for damage and start like pinging down blockers, hitting players. It's still kind of slow and like goofy, but it's a way to turn this into damage. Would Mana Web fit in this list? Maybe. I know you're. Oh, I haven't posted in the Discord where to submit for June yet. I'll probably do it like next week or something. Do I do my hair like that every day in the morning? No, I don't. I usually don't do my hair. It's just another rampant growth we're playing. Yeah, it's kind of funny just to see Into the North. Booster Tutor. Booster Tutor is an expensive card to play. 36 is a low land count. I mean, it's mostly 2-drops. I think 36 is actually okay. I'm wondering if this might sound crazy. Do we change the commander? I usually don't suggest swapping the commander, but Riku isn't like particularly important to the deck, I think. I'm wondering if we could swap the commander to something that will help you deal more damage, thus winning the game faster. As an idea, yeah, 36 lands plus 20 ramp spells. It might even be too much, to be honest. So like this Saheeli, right? This Saheeli. It's only when you cast artifact spells you get. It's not when it enters. Is there like a better commander that helps us like push in damage? Maybe commander is there just because there are few. There's so few attraction and contraption like cards. Yeah. I'm wondering if like you could just skimp out on that and have like a commander that. You think cutting Riku would just like tank the list? Is he that important? Storm makes all the. you could play Storm Force of Nature to give Storm to your contraption opening cards, or like maybe Calamax is actually even just a better commander for this sort of thing. Another route we could go if we're sticking with Riku is you could play cards like Bribery. Bribery just lets you pull a win condition out of someone else's deck. And then if you copy Bribery, you get to do that twice, and it does end the game, kinda, you know. Maybe we change the look. Yeah, Calamax, I think, could be like a... I'm going to just put it on the sideboard here. I actually think Calamax is like a... Because one of the cool things about him is he also just gets bigger. So he's kind of... He lets you copy some of the attraction opening things. And then as the first time you copy, because you just attack, the first time you copy, he becomes a 5/5. That kind of does stuff, you know, right? A Storm as the commander is kind of fun as well, you know? I agree Bribery is funny in this deck. I think... I mean, Calamax could also just be in the 99, you know? We could be more of a spell copy kind of list. Something like that. Other things, I feel like I think we could go down a little bit on the ramp. Like, there's a lot of ramp in here. We might be able to just cut, like maybe we cut Migration's Path. We go like Urban Evolution. Go like down a little bit on ramp. Storm is like a $40 card, yes. Which is why I don't really like suggesting it. Although it is one of the few ways to actually continually make more contraption-y things or whatever. We got Twinning Staff. Twinning Staff, maybe. Twinning Staff is really slow. Even for this deck, might be slow. What is the Lightning Bolt for? It's a fine card. I don't know. I'm just kind of like... I think at lower power levels, you run into a lot of bigger creatures. I feel like that makes Lightning Bolt worse. I think Lightning Bolt gets better at higher power commander. I think it might be a cut. Urban Evolution is card draw. That is true. You're right. Removal. Yeah, I get that it's removal, but it's like... It seems like your worst one. Bolt Wave? Bolt Wave is just like a lava spike, right? That hits everybody. I'm wondering if this deck could also just, like... Can we just play Crackle with Power or something? Can we play... Alright, wait, hold up. Wait a second. Correct me if I'm wrong, but contraptions and attractions is crap on your board, right? Is there a way we can, like, leverage Warp World into a win? Like, is there some world where we poop out enough permanents and then we Warp World and just, like, gain advantage from that? Is that a thing? It feels on theme for this deck. That's my, like... They're on board, pretty sure attractions, right? They're artifacts still, so... That could work. Another thing, Rampage the Clans. So Rampage of the Clans is a funny card. I love this card. You blow up all artifacts and enchantments, and they all turn into 3/3s. It's an instant. So you can, end of turn all your attractions into 3/3s and swing out. Warp World into what exactly? Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe I'm just cooking too hard. What about Affinity? Okay. Although this is still trying to be like a goblin deck, kind of. Is it? I don't know. Maybe not. I guess there's just like a loose goblin sub-theme. Affinity, yeah, maybe, I mean, honestly, like a master of Ethereum, maybe, you know? Something like that, or a like a Karn Silver Golem. That's the wrong card. Karn Living Legacy. What's the one that makes dudes? What? Karn the Great. It's not Karn the Great Creator, is it? Am I stupid? Yeah, it's not. Wait. God damn it. Karn. Scion of Urza. There we go. Yeah. Scion of Urza. There we go. A Will is kind of a win con here. A Kappa Cannoneer's like not bad. Okay, so Scion of Urza makes constructs that get big. Kappa Cannoneer has improvise, and you know, can be difficult to block. Chips in for damage. I think these are some like real win cons. Maybe we get rid of Rampage of the Clans. Whoops, this should have been in the maybe board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really more like 5 because Calamix is like a suggestion for the commander. All right, I gotta find a few more cuts, which is the problem. What on earth would I even cut from this list? Urza Lord High Artificer. I don't even know what we're ramping into with Urza. That's the funny thing. Maybe Lava Coil is kind of mid. Invert Polarity has a goblin on it. I mean, that's true. Squirrel Squatters, ETB, Attraction. Okay. Goblin Game for the theme. This is meant to be bracket 2, not bracket 1. Maybe we ditch Goblin Sharpshooter, to be honest. It's a Goblin Contraction, Attraction construct deck. It builds itself, yeah. Arms Dealer. Sack a Goblin, deals 4 damage to target creature. I think we don't have enough goblins for this, is my thought. Man, Overwhelming Intellect, I want to cut. So just cutting, but it's good. Rise and Shine, a good finisher? Yeah, that could be good too. Rise and Shine might be better than Aether Grid, to be honest. Or actually, you know what? Let's put in Aether Grid. Let's do Rise and Shine. And Aether Grid is kind of removal, so we can cut Lava Coil. Mr. Suggestion, Alec, man, what would you say? So many ramp spells. I feel like we can cut one more. I think we could go down one more, honestly. Maybe Search for Tomorrow. That's kind of like the most mid one. cut intellect, we can't hold up 6. That's probably true. Okay, all right. Let's look at this. We have seven cuts here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ads. Cyber Drive Awakener is more than $10, so I usually don't suggest cards like that. But it is a good card. Rise of Shine does a similar impression. Okay, all right, Justin. Here are my suggestions for your goofy deck. Your suggestion was Clever Impersonator and 3 Steps Ahead. Those are also good picks. Man, Clever Impersonator is a really good suggestion. What would I even cut for Clever Impersonator, though? Maybe we cut Goblin Matron. Is there a goblin that you care about enough? Whereas, like, Clever Impersonator can be a second attraction. Cyber Drive is fine, no budget. Okay, then I'm gonna do Cyber Drive over Rise and Shine. Okay, all right. Let's look at some finishers for this deck. So with Riku, double bribery, that's a real win con. Clever Impersonator lets you get more attractions, which is pretty sweet, or copy another big creature. Cyber Drive Awakener turns some of these attractions and contraptions into win cons. Gerber Aether Grid, extra removal and damage to face. Calamax, pretty sweet in the 99, could be the commander as well. Also becomes a big creature, finishes people off. Kappa Cannoneer, another way to chip in for damage. Improvise is pretty sweet with the contraptions. Will also gets bigger, lets you roll more dice, etc., etc. And then I think we cut some amount of the ramp because we had a lot. Overwhelming Intellect is kind of funny, but and then some of the other weird goblin things that I don't think we have too much. Go Lions is for the service rep, which is core to the flavor. Go Lions? What? I know you have the Steam Flogger service rep. Archway of Innovation. I mean, yeah. Justin said that they're gonna work on the mana base, and I assume that over time, eventually, they'll add the utility lands. But like, yeah, Archway of Innovation is like obviously super good in a deck like this, you know. Okay, let's move on to the next deck. This deck was very cool and silly. I I think it's interesting that you bring this out for bracket 2 games. It's kind of funny. Okay, next deck. Wild Research Toolbox by Flumph. Oh my goodness. We're playing Wild Research, one of my favorite cards of all time. Okay, so Wild Research is a 3-mana enchantment. You can pay white and 1, search for an enchantment, discard a card at random. And then blue and 1, search your library for an instant, discard a card at random. So it's a toolbox that lets you find enchantments and instants. And immediately, what I am noticing is missing is what I think is the core part of the Wild Research plan. And that is, there's a Saka, Whir of Invention, Future Sight, and Library of Lang. So, yeah, no problem, Justin. I hope you try out these changes. Might make some different swaps with level the ads. Yeah. I mean, let me know how it goes. This, in my opinion, is like the reason you play like Wild Research. So we need how I built my most complicated deck. I already made that. It was the Uno deck video. That's my most complicated deck by far. Although I did do some 4-color Wild Research piles. Okay, so basically, here's the idea, right? Is Library of Lang has this thing. If an effect causes you to discard a card, discard it, but you may put it on top of your library instead of into your graveyard. So what you do is you Wild Research, then you get Wild Research, you search for either Urza Saga or Word of Invention. You use that to get Library of Lang, play Library of Lang, and then you get Future Sight, which lets you cast off the top. And then, now, with Future Sight and Wild Research and Library of Lang in play, you've built this engine where you can search up at instant speed any enchantment or instant and be able to play it no matter what. Because if you discard it at random to the Wild Research, it goes on top of your library and you can just cast it. So you can do shenanigans where you go instant speed, activate Wild Research, search up, negate, discard at the top of my library, cast it off the top, negate your spell. When am I busting out Uno in a Patron game? I don't know, maybe one day. So that is, in my opinion, the way to build this, is you have this core built into it somehow. If only there was a 3-mana wizard that could tutor for the... so yes, Trinket Mage does grab the library, but Trinket Mage isn't searchable off of Wild Research. The beauty of this pile specifically is as soon as you find the Wild Research, you can construct the rest of the engine by itself. So any singular enchantment tutor finds the entire value engine, and it could put your whole thing together. And that level of compactness is really awesome. As you can tell, I'm passionate about toolbox decks. Let's read what this patron wrote about this deck. You have your first toolbox deck here. Any expensive cards are in here because you own them. A $5-ish budget for new cards would be awesome. I also have zero idea how to close out games with this deck. I would love some feedback on that. Okay, so you don't need Urza Saga. War of Invention fits the same role. I know this card is more than $5. Which does suck. This card needs a reprint. They're worried about finishing the game, and here's the beauty of it. Look at this. We're in a 5-color enchantment deck. We can easily just tutor for an enchantment that finishes the game. Now, personally, I built mine as like a humility list because I'm me. But there are lots of other enchantments that let us finish off the game. One thing is... I'm blanking on the name now. It's an enchantment. It is in mono black. It's like 7 mana. Baneful Omen. Now this card's pretty sweet. Baneful Omen is a great enchantment finisher. Mind's Dilation is another great enchantment finisher. There's also the... oh, what's it called? Debtor's Knell? To close up, yeah, Painful Quandary is another really good one. Another thing that's pretty sweet in a deck like this is Wheel of Sun and Moon. Now this is for infinite value. You see, with Wheel of Sun and Moon and, I don't know, just a counterspell, you now have infinite, straight up infinite removal in your deck now. Infinite spot removal. Because we can Wild Research your counterspell, you cast the counterspell, goes back, you Wild Research the counterspell, you replay it, you do it over and over again. All you need is an instant speed thing that is a board wipe, so you can set up the position to infinitely Assassin's Trophy and counterspell. Now, the best instant speed board wipe is obviously Cyclonic Rift. But there's other good ones. A budget one that's pretty good is it Route? Route? What? Route? Root? What is the card? What am I thinking of? It's got like Elish Norn on it. If Final Showdown is a good one. What's the budget one I'm thinking of? It's like you can cast it at instant speed or some crap. Oh man, I'm like totally. Is it Route? Thank you. Okay, thank you. It was a sorcery, okay. Oh, and it's 5 mana, okay. Oh no, but it's a sorcery, so you can't tutor it. Damn it. Ah, dang it. Alright, never mind. Alright, Final Showdown. So Final Showdown is an instant speed board wipe that you can infinitely loop. You're still in this deck list? Don't I mean, this is cool, you know? Thank you for everybody who suggested Final Showdown. Is there... Are we trying to copy enchantments? Is that our goal? I don't think we're... I think we're just trying to, like, make toolbox value. And now actually constructing a toolbox deck is very difficult because you need to have an answer to everything. You need to be ready for every possible situation so you can search up whatever you need in every situation. Okay, so everything that I've I've added here is like, this isn't a direct one-to-one. Like, I think you need to add the Library of Lang package. But you can pick any of these finishers and then use Wheel of Sun and Moon and Final Showdown and Spot Removal to just infinitely loop whatever you need. Couple of things. Clutch of the Undercity, this doesn't transmute Wild Research. This is way too slow. What are you getting? Zur? That's a cut. Dimir Machinations, this does get Wild Research, so that's pretty good. Step through its Wizard Cycling, it gets Zur, which I guess is okay. It's pretty slow, to be honest, and it's a sorcery. It's not tutorable. It's not part of your toolbox. That's what you need to build it. I mean, it is what you need to build a good toolbox deck, yeah. Is Perplex better than Disallow here? No, I don't think so. Dimir Houseguard. I'm not a fan of these things that are just tutoring for Zur to tutor for the Wild Research. Wishclaw Talisman, in a non-combo deck, jank. Here's my problem with Wishclaw is you go, I'm going to tutor my important piece, and then they're like, cool, I'm going to tutor removal for it, and they blow it up. It's... It's a bit of a problem. I would cut Rest in Peace for Wheel of Sun and Moon, so you can loop stuff. I think that's way stronger. How do you submit? It's on Patreon, yeah. I know Perplex transmutes for wild research, but Disallow is a really good part of the toolbox because it hits activated or triggered abilities and is a counter spell, so it fulfills many roles. It's a good multi-tool on its own, which makes it an awesome addition. Yeah, Idyllic Tutor is just better here, yeah. Is Idyllic Tutor still kind of cheap? It's like $8, eh. Let's go Mom number 1. I don't think that one's necessary. Moon Mist is also a loopable fog. I mean, any fog is loopable with the thing. Also, instead of looping a fog, you should just loop a board wipe, I think. I'm a bit of a fog hater for the most part. And we already have Arachnogenesis as like a better fog. Is there a way for you to see these decks? Yes, I am. It's all on my. It's all on my Architect actually. So on here, I can share my folders. But if you go here to Patron deck reviews, you can see all the Patron deck reviews from these different months. Food chain squee? I don't think that one's necessary. I think we can probably cut this too. Okay. All right. There's more adds than cuts because you don't have to put all of these finishers. This is kind of whichever one you want. Yeah. I hate fog. Gotta stay out of Oregon. Yeah. Yeah, I think this deck is pretty cool. I think this is what you need for your toolbox package. And you just gotta tune the list. This is a list that takes like it takes time because you have so many options for like things you can add, which is going to, affect things. So yeah, just keep working on it, and you'll eventually get to the list you want. All right, last two lists. We have scary and easy to pronounce. Indominus Rex. Now this user said. Most of the relevant details are in the primer. I've spent a lot of time tuning this from a casual keyword soup list. Is something significantly more competitive. Looking for constructive feedback. Want to push its potential in bracket 4. I've excluded some specific combos in the. Oh wait, did I not copy the primer? I might have not. Hang on. All right, hang on. We gotta look at the primer real quick. Primer. Okay. Emergent Ultimatum Piles, okay. Alter the Wretched, Bone Mass, Living Death, Razaketh, E-Witness Eternal Loops, okay. Mystic Sanctuary, Kefnet combo, Colossal Sky Turtle combo, a lot of Infinite Turn combos. Right, so you're obviously skipping Oracle. Oh, get out of here, ad blocker. Okay, sure. Right, okay, cool, got it. This on Mox, yeah, it's on Moxfield. How convenient that I can share a list. Yeah, I know, it's cool that I can share all these folders. It's so annoying that Moxfield doesn't let me share folders. Okay. So we're trying to like push this into a like bracket 4 high power list. Lots of combos, but we're not playing the best combos because this isn't CEDH, which makes this a very, very difficult deck to make suggestions for. I mean, I think if you're just looking to put together slightly slower combos, we can just churn through the list in a slightly more efficient way. Oh, you're in chat as well. Hey, what up, Lunar? Okay, hi. This is definitely a tricky deck to make suggestions for. I find bracket 4 very difficult to brew in. In general, I think it's just kind of a strange place to be. So yeah, I don't know. I find bracket 4 difficult. There's a few things immediately that I'm kind of like, you know, how much is Breaker of Creation necessary? Flying Death Touch. Exhaust 4 generic. Reveal the top cards of your library until you reveal 2 land cards. Put those on the battlefield tapped and the rest on the bottom in a random order. Put a counter on this. Oh, interesting. It has flying and death touch, I guess, right? Spellseeker, Thassa. The Warring Triad? Oh, it's got 3 keywords. Okay, that makes sense. Man, this is difficult. This is really hard. Storm of Frogs. When you cast a spell, copy of each kind of counter on permanent you control, you choose new targets. Breaker's 5 counters for Indominus. And draw 5 cards. Discard any number enters with a flying counter if I have 5. Same as first strike, double strike. Draw a card for each counter on it. Wait, it's 5 counters? Threats undetected. Search library for 4 creatures different. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh man, this feels like a deck that actually wants Gifts Ungiven. Oh wait, is it already in here? Did I miss it? Oh, it is already in here. Okay. Oh man. Prof's Eidetic Memory. Enters the battlefield, draw a card. You have no max hands. At the beginning of combat your turn, if you draw more than 1 card this turn, put X times X the number of cards you draw -1. Feels a bit Winmore, perhaps. For bracket 4, Indominus Will, Insidious Will, I mean, feels very slow. I actually think we can swap Brainstorm with Consider. Would I rather fight Snail, Elk, or Mold to death? It doesn't matter. I'd beat any of them. Investigate. You may play an additional land this turn. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a creature card with Death Touch, Hexproof, Reach, or Trample. Reveal it. What a weird card. What the hell? I've never seen this card before. This is a cool card. What? This is a good find. Quasi-Revenant, a good enough discard Target can exile self to give out more keywords. It's not bad. Man, okay. Here are my suggestions. And let me know. You think Protestant might be one of the best cards? It's the best card in the deck, really? 2-mana ETB loot. At the beginning of combat turn, if you've drawn more than one card, it's like so win more. Am I crazy in saying it's the most like win more card? It literally is 2-mana like draw discard, which is pretty mid. And then if you've drawn a bunch of cards, it puts a bunch of counters, which could in theory do more later. It's not a combo though. It doesn't even get you towards a combo. Is this actually? Ice Fang Coddle over the other one and then playing Snow Basics, maybe, but it's a 3-color deck, so you don't want many basics, you know? Mold said he'd hang out with me, kill Elk. That's fair. Brainstorm has synergy with Tameo, Skull, and Metamorphosis Fanatic. I mean, the Metamorphosis Fanatic synergy with Brainstorm is like pretty niche. And with Tameo, shouldn't you just be able to draw cards with your commander? You've been considering joining the Patreon mostly for feedback on our decks from your other patrons. I mean, yeah, patrons post deck lists all the time, and people are always like discussing it in the Discord and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's the main reason is to be in the Discord and like, you know, do this stuff basically. Okay, all right, Lunar. Let me cook with a few suggestions here, and then we can discuss further. Okay, so I'm wondering if we just want Treasure Cruise in this deck. We're already like looting stuff away. Your commander already fills your yard. Instead of just drawing 3, putting 2 back, we can just 1-mana draw 3. We can just Ancestral Recall normally. And you're playing like an optimized mana base with fetch lands, which already makes Treasure Cruise so much better. And then at that point, I mean, Dig Through Time is a good Magic the Gathering card, right? Like, I mean, I feel like Dig Through Time's really good. And, you know, for 2 mana loot once, and then, I don't know, maybe put more counters later versus 2 mana dig really deep for combo pieces seems really good. And then for Insidious Will, I'm kind of surprised we don't have oh shit, I'm like totally blanking on the name now. That's not how you spell. Stubborn Denial. Stubborn Denial seems like a really great way. It seems really easy to turn on in this list. It seems like a great way to get a hard counterspell for cheap. And at higher power tables, where people are trying to combo off faster, do things faster, the 1 mana counter is actually way more relevant because there's less extra mana to float around. By the way, I appreciate everyone in chat recommending the Patreon. I think the $2 tier is like pretty good. Like, I feel like I'm pretty active in the Discord, and like everybody there is super nice. So those are my 3 suggestions, Lunar. I feel like we could get maybe let me know if I'm missing something about this deck, but I feel like this is just going to be more efficient counterspell, better card draw, and help you dig for your combos faster. Yo, what up, Crispy Rice? Yeah, those are my suggestions. Otherwise, it's hard to like it's like so hard to suggest other things for the deck because it's like you said, you're intentionally not making a CDH. So we're not adding food chain combo. We're not adding food chain combo, Thassa's Oracle combo, which makes sense. I'm totally fine with that. But then it's like, you know, what's the next best thing? It's bracket 4 is like a very awkward place to brew around. But yeah, this is, I don't know. I think these are my suggestions. I'm not too sure what else would change it. Like, if you say this is one of the best cards of the deck, like, I'm not going to say you're wrong because you've played the list and I haven't. That being said, I don't know. It feels very win more. Yeah, those are my thoughts on the list. If you try these out, Lunar, please let me know how they go. I would really appreciate it. Just like ping me in the Discord. Okay. Last list for now, and then I'll be back streaming in a couple of hours, is a Xiao Dun the One-Eyed optimized bracket 4 list. This patron user said, oh, it's a Shadowborn Apostle deck. Depending on the bracket, they cut cards to add more apostles for balance. Okay. Win more, that's the goal. If you had to put the Mirror Boys in the deck building alignment chart, Snail's lawful neutral, I'm neutral good. Elk is lawful evil, yeah. So I love this card, this commander, by the way. One of the first mono black decks that I really played for a long time was Xiao Dun the One-Eyed as like a mono black like value pile. And it looks like this is, relatively speaking, a mono black value pile. And this user specified no, budget limit on the additions. I believe they just play on like Tabletop Simulator and stuff, which is sweet. Which is cool. So I want to suggest some wacky, crazy mono black cards that are silly to loop with Xiao Dun. First one is going to be Worst Fears. This is a sorcery that steals a player's turn. You just Mind Slaver them for a turn. With Xiao Dun, this card is crazy. Another card that is awesome in a deck like this is Oversold Cemetery or Phyrexian Reclamation. Just as a way to keep getting Xiao Dun back over and over again. And then for that, like, oh man, it's a bit of a commander classic, but Black Market is so sweet in a deck like this. You're just sacking Xiao Dun, getting more mana, and eventually it's free for you to get your Xiao Dun back every time. Unstoppable Slasher, maybe. Xiao Dun isn't sacrifice a creature, it sacrifices himself. So we have like the Phyrexian Altar, but other than that, I don't think we're actually sacking creatures that much. The Shadowborn Apostles sacrifice themselves. Yo, what up, Samwise? Chalice of Damnations. Oh, Choice of Damnation, sorry. What the hell is this? This card sucks. It's funny, but it sucks. You know what else? They're just looking for fun, flavorful cards. I see you have... You don't have the flippy... What is Ormondal's other side? What? This is a, like, blade of something? Equipment. Um, Elbrus. Elbrus is sweet in this deck because your commander has effectively unblockable. So you equip, you ding, you flip into, Withengar or whatever, and you just beat the crap out of people. Yeah, Ormondal's the land. That's my bad. I got Ormondal and Withengar confused. Blood Pet is funny. Face reveal was sick. Yeah, I thought it went pretty well. I like that this user has just straight Veal or Urborg in here, which is really funny. Yeah, a few things that I would maybe suggest cutting. Maybe the Phyrexian altar, because, I don't know what we're sacrificing. Your commander sacks himself. Scourge of the Skyclave seems kind of random. I mean, it drains half their life, so maybe. Warlock class is a lot of mana for not that much use. Karn the Great Creator is kind of an odd choice in here. Maybe I'm missing it. I'm not sure what it's for. Stargaze. Look at 26 cards from the top of your life. Put X cards among them into your hand. As in the graveyard, you lose X life. Yeah, sure, whatever. Let's see what else. Paradise Mantle seems kind of weird in this list as a ramp spell. Is the Phyrexian Altar protection, instant speed sack? I mean, you would just sack your commander on your turn, just put him in the graveyard. I don't know. I never needed his instant speed sack when I played this commander. None of those play patterns just kind of came up. Seance board. Beginning of your end step, if a creature dies this turn, put a counter on it, add X. Sure, why not? Not a big fan of Lotus Petal in here because we're a mid-range deck. We're not actually a combo list. So rushing out our commander doesn't do anything either because you need stuff in the graveyard. Yo, see ya, Alec, man. Yeah, honestly, if you're just looking for fun, silly black cards to add, you should just add these. Just do more shenanigans. I think that's what this deck is trying to do, is just be a shenanigan deck. Afterlife from the Loam? That's the new card, right? Afterlife from... It's 8 mana. I know it has Delve. For each player, just one target... yeah, but you don't want to Delve 5 in this deck because you actually want the toolbox of things in your yard for Xiao. It is a cool card, though. I think those are my cuts, honestly. I think these are just kind of too whatever, kind of too niche. And you should just play more silly things like this if you want to do silly mono black stuff. Alright. That is all the tier 3 patron decks. Boom. Done. Exile the Apostles. I don't think you want to exile the Apostles. I'm gonna eat some lunch and run some errands, and I'll be back streaming some 2-2 decks, 2-2 patron decks later today. So I'm gonna head out for now. I'll be back later. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll be on in I don't know, a couple hours maybe, something like that.